Good evening. Hi. Hello, Bobbies. Hello, Hugs. Hello, Pluvium. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. I just woke up like 2 hours ago. So interesting waking up at that kind of time, but whatever. That just means I'm not ill anymore, because it means that because whenever I'm ill, I get like a normal sleep schedule. Hello. Ohio. Ohio gozaimasu. But yeah, hello. I wanted to actually stream during the day, you know. I actually wanted to do the 8 p.m. stream that I used to have scheduled on Thursdays. But yeah, I was passed out. I was not even slightly conscious. Not even a little bit. I sat there waiting. I'm sorry. I am what they fondly call a disaster. I sat there from 10 to 11 and I fell asleep. Sorry for leaving you waiting. I was asleep. I was just completely. I don't think I fell asleep until about 10 a.m. today. Yesterday. So, or maybe it was later actually. I'm not sure. Either way, it was not very. It was not great. I don't know really what to do about my sleep for the rest of today. To try and normalize it a little bit, but whatever. That is a problem for later me to deal with. In my defense, I did my taxes yesterday, and that made my brain go into like cease to exist mode. I hate doing my taxes. It's such a pain in the ass. Not that I ever like owe anything, but it's just like there's so much jargon on the pages. Have you got overseas? No, and I don't even know what that is. Did you earn any interest? I mean, like, do you count the 1 pence I got in my bank account from interest? I mean, does that count? Do I have to say yes for the one penny that I got? I don't know. And so I am just gonna hope that they don't come and eviscerate me for my lack of jargon knowledge. Do you not have like TurboTax in the UK? I don't think we do. I think I would have to pay like an accountant or something to do it. The 1 pence is real? Hello, Q. Yeah. The problem is, right, I got 1 pence in interest on a ISA bank account, and so I was like, yes, I earned the interest. And then they were like, how much interest? And then when I typed in that I got 1 penny in interest, it rounded down. So it was just like 0. It's like, no, I got a penny. But you're not letting me enter that I got a penny. So now it looks like I got interest, so I just told you I got nothing. So I don't know if they're gonna get mad at me for that, but that's not my... Well, it is my problem, but it's a problem for not me right now. Yeah, no, in the UK, if you're not self-employed, the company you work for normally does all your taxes for you, and then all that you do is you get a letter from HMRC telling you if they owe you money or not. That's it. That's it. They called you broke, they really did. They do it every time. It's upsetting. I didn't request a grab. I believe you, because Gravity was watching that collab. I remember seeing Gravity in chat. I'm really glad they enjoyed the collab though, and oh god, when I saw the art last night I was like, holy crap, that's yeah. Well, happy tax season, thank you, Sir Cute. Stalking the view. No, Gravity spoke. Gravity said words in the chat. Oblivion, I mean, it might have been something to do with your interesting opinions on artwork involving 2 or more VTubers. You didn't... all that. No, it's really cool. I didn't fully express myself in the... What do you mean, not like purity, she's good and pure? I'm good. I'm good. Man. Anyway, but no, I really like Gravity's art, that piece. I've never said anything yab ever. I've made a couple mistakes, but they are purely mistakes. But no, the fact that Gravity managed to make us look like very distinctly like ourselves, like no same face, very much like captured like individual appearances. It's very cool. I really like it. But no, I've never intentionally said anything yab or done anything yab, I don't think. But sometimes I'm stupid and I don't realise things. That's the worst I do. But yeah, taxes, hopefully done. Hopefully HMRC do not come to get in touch with me to be like, hey, die. Because I will be upset and I'm not prepared for that. The real Yab is what left unsaid? What? What have I left unsaid? Suspicious. But no, hopefully that's it for Texas and I don't have to think about it for the next year. I hate dealing with it. There it is, what do you mean? I didn't say anything, I didn't not say anything. I forgot my words though. I woke up not very long ago, so I'm still like trying to re-establish my connection with the planet Earth. Because every time I sleep, it's just I've gone. It always takes me some time to like try and figure out my place on the planet again. Should probably just read a chapter. That'll probably be easier, and then keep on talking afterwards. Yeah. Okay, so reading. We're continuing with 1984. I do have both my Twitch chat and my YouTube chat in live chat version open, so I can read messages in both places. If I need to adjust the volume, please let me know if the music is too loud or too quiet, or if I'm like weirdly favouring like one ear over the other. It's really hard to sit like perfectly centered. There, I'm supposed to be. Okay, I don't really. Can you favour my left ear? Which one's the left? Is this side? Is this left? I don't know what left is to you. That's the one I get the most parasocial from. What does that mean? How do you get more parasocial from one ear? Although, actually, I have my when I wear headphones, I only wear them over one ear, so if people speak, when people do ASMR, I don't watch ASMR. I don't really like listening to ASMR very much. But whenever someone uses a binaural mic, if they speak into the right ear, I can't hear anything. I don't hear it. In fact, actually, it's always an interesting experience listening to music that has like different things going on in different ears. Because so often I'll only hear the song like 99% of the time in my left ear, and so then if I play it out of my monitor, sometimes it's like, wow, wait, there's more lyrics, or there's like a whole other instrument. What's going on? You have Twitch chat? I know I'm not live on Twitch, but YouTube chat has a habit of YouTube likes to censor things, so people's messages just don't come up on the screen. So I like to keep Twitch chat open at the same time. But hello, Mark. YouTube keeps innocent viewers down. It just is. I don't know what the censor limits are on YouTube, and unlike Twitch, where if someone says something bad, like either it will come through auto mod and I will see it, or you get a message saying like your message conflicts with the moderation of this channel. Meanwhile on YouTube, if you send something and it doesn't come through, I don't see it, you don't see that it didn't go through, no one sees anything. We just end up in pure ignorance. And so you can be like, why is Purity ignoring my message? Why is Purity not responding to me? And it's just because YouTube decided to send you to the Shadow Realm. Real. So yeah, I try to keep Twitch chat open now so I can not miss messages, because I don't want to miss messages. That sucks. Anyway, I'm gonna read a chapter. I don't know how long this chapter is. No idea. And then we can continue chatting afterwards. So yes, if I need to adjust the volume, please do let me know. Other than that, if you are going to be heading to bed, please have a very good rest. I will not be raiding at the end of the stream, so you are free to get some sleep, and you should not be awoken unless the cat comes upstairs and yowls at the top of her voice, and hopefully she does not. But, you know, always a risk. If you are working, if you are studying, I hope it goes well and has as little stress as possible. Yes, exactly like that. Put cat on mic. The cat actually isn't in my room right now, but that's because because of my allergies, I actually barricade my room when I sleep. Or else I wake up feeling like death. Like, even more than usual. But I think she might be mad at me for having my room barricaded, so she's not come upstairs. I'm sure she'll come up at some point, but maybe not during stream. If she comes up though, you know, it might get picked up by the mic. Maybe. What was I saying? Yeah. Work, study, good luck. If you need to go get a drink, please get a drink. If you need to get some food, please get something to eat. And if you need some rest, please do get some rest. Right. Let's go. Let's see if I can read. I sure hope this chapter isn't about prostitution. My cat will... I don't have a door, right? I just have... I set up a barricade with a suitcase, my laundry basket, and a pair of trainers. To, like, barricade the top of my stairs. So, it's not like a completely solid door. But it's difficult for them to overcome. Anyway. Chapter 7. If there is hope, wrote Winston, it lies in the proles. If there was hope, it must lie in the proles, because only there, in those swarming, disregarded masses, 85% of the population of Oceania, could the force to destroy the party ever be generated. The party could not be overthrown from within. Its enemies, if it had any enemies, had no way of communing together or even of identifying one another. Even if the legendary Brotherhood existed, as just possibly it might, it was inconceivable that its members could ever assemble in larger numbers than 2s and 3s. Rebellion meant a look in the eyes, an inflection of the voice, at the most, an occasional whispered word. But the proles, if only they could somehow become conscious of their own strength, would have no need to conspire. They needed only to rise up and shake themselves like a horse shaking off flies. If they chose, they could blow the party to pieces tomorrow morning. Surely sooner or later it must occur to them to do it. And yet... He remembered how once he had been walking down a crowded street when a tremendous shout of hundreds of voices, women's voices, had burst from a side street a little way ahead. It was a great formidable cry of anger and despair, a deep, loud "oh, oh" that went humming on like the reverberation of a bell. His heart had leapt. It started, he had thought. A riot! The proles are breaking loose at last. When he had reached the spot, it was to see a mob of 200 or 300 women crowding round the stalls of a street market, with faces as tragic as though they had been the doomed passengers on a sinking ship. But at this moment, the general despair broke down into a multitude of individual quarrels. It appeared that one of the stalls had been selling tin saucepans. They were wretched, flimsy things, but cooking pots of any kind were always difficult to get. Now the supply had unexpectedly given out. The successful women, bumped and jostled by the rest, were trying to make off with their saucepans, while dozens of others clamoured round the stall, accusing the stallkeeper of favouritism and of having more saucepans somewhere in reserve. There was a fresh outburst of yells. 2 bloated women, one of them with her hair coming down, had got hold of the same saucepan and were trying to tear it out of one another's hands. For a moment they were both tugging, then the handle came off. Winston watched them disgustedly. And yet, just for a moment, what almost frightening power had sounded in that cry from only a few hundred throats? Why was it that they could never shout like that about anything that mattered? He wrote, "Until they become conscious, they will never rebel. And until after they have rebelled, they cannot become conscious." That, he reflected, might almost have been a transcription from one of the party textbooks. The party claimed, of course, to have liberated the proles from bondage. Before the revolution, they had been hideously oppressed by the capitalists. They had been starved and flogged. Women had been forced to work in the coal mines. Women still did work in the coal mines, as a matter of fact. Children had been sold into the factories at the age of 6. But simultaneously, due to the principles of doublethink, the party taught that the proles were natural inferiors who must be kept in subjection, like animals, by the application of a few simple rules. In reality, very little was known about the proles. It was not necessary to know much. So long as they continued to work and breed, their other activities were without importance. Left to themselves, like cattle turned loose upon the plains of Argentina, they had reverted to a style of life that appeared to be natural to them, a sort of ancestral pattern. They were born, they grew up in the gutters, they went to work at 12, they passed through a brief, blossoming period of beauty and sexual desire, they married at 20, they were middle-aged at 30, they died, for the most part, at 60. Heavy physical work, the care of home and children, petty quarrels with neighbours, films, football, beer, and above all, gambling, filled up the horizon of their minds. To keep them in control was not difficult. A few agents of the thought police moved always among them, spreading false rumours, and marking down and eliminating the few individuals who were judged capable of becoming dangerous. But no attempt was made to indoctrinate them with the ideology of the party. It was not desirable that the proles should have strong political feelings. All that was required of them was a primitive patriotism that could be appealed to whenever it was necessary to make them accept longer working hours or shorter rations. And even when they did become discontented, as they sometimes did, their discontent led nowhere, because, being without general ideas, they could only focus it on petty, specific grievances. The larger evils invariably escaped their notice. The great majority of proles did not even have telescreens in their homes. Even the civil police interfered with them very little. There was a vast amount of criminality in London, a whole world within a world of thieves, bandits, prostitutes, drug peddlers and racketeers of every description. But since it all happened among the proles themselves, it was of no importance. In all questions of morals, they were allowed to follow their ancestral code. The sexual puritanism of the party was not imposed upon them. Promiscuity went unpunished, divorce was permitted. For that matter, even religious worship would have been permitted if the proles had shown any sign of needing or wanting it. They were beneath suspicion. As the party slogan put it, proles and animals are free. Winston reached down and cautiously scratched his varicose ulcer. It had begun itching again. the thing you invariably come back to was the impossibility of knowing what life before the revolution had really been like. He took out of the drawer a copy of a children's history textbook which he had borrowed from Mrs. Parsons, and began copying a passage into the diary. In the old days, it ran, before the glorious revolution, London was not the beautiful city that we know today. It was a dark, dirty, miserable place, where hardly anybody had enough to eat, and where hundreds and thousands of poor people had no boots on their feet, and not even a roof to sleep under. Children no older than you had to work 12 hours a day for cruel masters, who flogged them with whips if they worked too slowly, and fed them on nothing but stale bread crusts and water. But in among all this terrible poverty, there were just a few great big beautiful houses that were lived in by rich men, who had as many as 30 servants to look after them. These rich men were called capitalists. They were fat, ugly men with wicked faces, like the one in the picture on the opposite page. You can see that he is dressed in a long black coat, which was called a frock coat, and a queer, shiny hat shaped like a stovepipe, which was called a top hat. This was the uniform of the capitalists, and no one else was allowed to wear it. The capitalists owned everything in the world, and everyone else was their slave. They owned all the land, all the houses, all the factories, and all the money. If anyone disobeyed them, they could throw them into prison, or they could take his job away and starve him to death. When any ordinary person spoke to a capitalist, he had to cringe and bow to him, and take off his cap and address him as Sir. The chief of all the capitalists was called the King, but he knew the rest of the catalogue. There would be mention of the bishops in their lawn sleeves, the judges in their ermine robes, the pillory, the stocks, the treadmill, the cat o' nine tails, the Lord Mayor's banquet, and the practice of kissing the Pope's toe. There was also something called the Jus Primae Noctis, which would probably not be mentioned in a textbook for children. It was the law by which every capitalist had the right to sleep with any woman working in one of his factories. How could you tell how much of it was lies? It might be true that the average human being was better off now than he had been before the revolution. The only evidence to the contrary was the mute protest in your own bones, the instinctive feeling that the conditions you lived in were intolerable, and that at some other time they must have been different. It struck him that the truly characteristic thing about modern life was not in its cruelty and insecurity, but simply its bareness, its dinginess, its listlessness. Life, if you looked about you, bore no resemblance, not only to the lies that streamed out of the telescreen, but even to the ideals that the party were trying to achieve. Great areas of it, even for a party member, were neutral and non-political, a matter of slogging through dreary jobs, fighting for a place on the tube, darning a worn-out sock, cadging a saccharine tablet, saving a cigarette end. The ideal set up by the party was something huge, terrible and glittering, a world of steel and concrete, of monstrous machines and terrifying weapons, a nation of warriors and fanatics marching forward in perfect unity, all thinking the same thoughts and shouting the same slogans, perpetually working, fighting, triumphing, persecuting. 300 million people, all with the same face. The reality was decaying, dingy cities, where underfed people shuffled to and fro in leaky shoes, in patched-up 19th century houses that always smelt of cabbage and bad lavatories. He seemed to see a vision of London, vast and ruinous, city of a million dustbins, and mixed up with it was a picture of Mrs. Parsons, a woman with a lined face and wispy hair, fiddling helplessly with a blocked wastepipe. He reached down and scratched his ankle again. Day and night the telescreens bruised your ears with statistics proving that people today had more food, more clothes, better houses, better recreations that they lived longer, worked shorter hours, were bigger, healthier, stronger, happier, more intelligent, better educated than people of 50 years ago. Not a word of it could ever be proved or disproved. The party claimed, for example, that today 40% of adult proles were literate. Before the revolution, it was said, the number had only been 15%. The party claimed that the infant mortality rate was now only 160 per thousand, whereas before the revolution it had been 300. And so it went on. It was like a single equation with two unknowns. It might very well be that literally every word in the history books, even the things that one accepted without question, was pure fantasy. For all he knew, there might have never been such a law as the jus primae noctis, or any creature as a capitalist, or any such garment as a top hat. Everything faded into mist. The past was erased, the erasure was forgotten, the lie became truth. Just once in his life he had possessed, after the event, that was what counted, concrete, unmistakable evidence of falsifications. He had held it between his fingers for as long as 30 seconds. In 1973, it must have been. At any rate, it was about the time when he and Catherine had parted. But the really relevant date was 7 or 8 years earlier. The story really began in the middle 60s, the period of the great purges in which the original leaders of the revolution were wiped out once and for all. By 1970, none of them were left, except Big Brother himself. All the rest, by that time, had been exposed as traitors and counter-revolutionaries. Goldstein had fled and was hiding no one knew where, and of the others, a few had simply disappeared, while the majority had been executed after spectacular public trials at which they made confession of their crimes. Among the last survivors were 3 men named Jones, Aronson, and Rutherford. It must have been 1965 that these 3 had been arrested. As often happened, they had vanished for a year or more, so that one did not know whether they were alive or dead, and then had suddenly been brought forth to incriminate themselves in the usual way. They had confessed to intelligence with the enemy. At that date too, the enemy was Eurasia, embezzlement of public funds, the murder of various trusted party members, intrigues against the leadership of Big Brother which had started long before the revolution happened, and acts of sabotage causing the deaths of hundreds of thousands of people. After confessing to these things, they had been pardoned, reinstated in the party and given posts which were in fact sinecures, but which sounded important. All 3 had written long, abject articles in the Times, analysing the reasons for their defection and promising to make amends. Some time after their release, Winston had actually seen all 3 of them in the Chestnut Tree Cafe. He remembered the sort of terrified fascination with which he had watched them out of the corner of his eye. They were men far older than himself, relics of the ancient world, almost the last great figures left over from the heroic early days of the party. The glamour of the early underground struggle and the Civil War still faintly clung to them. He had the feeling, though already at that time facts and dates were growing blurry, that he had known their names years earlier than he had known that of Big Brother. But also they were outlaws, enemies, untouchables, doomed with absolute certainty to extinction within a year or 2. No one who had once fallen into the hands of the thought police ever escaped in the end. They were corpses, waiting to be sent back to the grave. There was no one at any of the tables nearest to them. It was not wise even to be seen in the neighbourhood of such people. They were sitting in silence before glasses of the gin flavoured with cloves, which was the specialty of the cafe. Of the 3, it was Rutherford whose appearance had most impressed Winston. Rutherford had once been a famous caricaturist whose brutal cartoons had helped to inflame popular opinion before and during the revolution. Even now, at long intervals, his cartoons were appearing in the Times. They were simply an imitation of his earlier manner, and curiously lifeless and unconvincing. Always they were rehashing of the ancient themes: slum tenements, starving children, street battles, capitalists in top hats. Even on the barricades, the capitalists seemed to cling to their top hats, an endless, hopeless effort to get back into the past. He was a monstrous man, with a mane of greasy grey hair, his face pouched and seamed, with thick lips. At one time he must have been immensely strong. Now his great body was sagging, sloping, bulging, falling away in every direction. He seemed to be breaking up before one's eyes, like a mountain crumbling. It was the lonely hour of 15. Winston could not now remember how he had come to be in the cafe at such a time. The place was almost empty. A tinny music was trickling from the telescreens. The three men sat in their corner, almost motionless, never speaking. Uncommanded, the waiter brought fresh glasses of gin. There was a chessboard on the table beside them, with the pieces set out, but no game started. And then, for perhaps half a minute in all, something happened to the telescreens. The tune that they were playing changed, and the tone of the music changed too. There came into it, but it was something hard to describe. It was a peculiar, cracked, braying, jeering note. In his mind, Winston called it a yellow note. And then a voice from the telescreen was singing. Under the spreading chestnut tree, I sold you, and you sold me. There lie they, and here lie we, under the spreading chestnut tree. The three men never stirred. But when Winston glanced again at Rutherford's ruinous face, he saw that his eyes were full of tears. And for the first time he noticed, with a kind of inward shudder, and yet not knowing at what he shuddered, that both Aronson and Rutherford had broken noses. A little later all three were rearrested. It appeared that they had engaged in fresh conspiracies from the very moment of their release. At their second trial they confessed all of their old crimes over again, with a whole string of new ones. They were executed, and their fate was recorded in the party histories, a warning to posterity. About 5 years after this, in 1973, Winston was unrolling a wad of documents which had just flopped out of the pneumatic tube onto his desk, when he came on a fragment of paper which had evidently been slipped in among the others and then forgotten. The instant he had flattened it out, he saw its significance. It was a half-page torn out of the Times of about 10 years earlier. The top half of the page, so that included the date, and it contained a photograph of the delegates at some party function in New York. Prominent in the middle of the group were Jones, Aronson, and Rutherford. There was no mistaking them. In any case, their names were in the caption at the bottom. The point was that at both trials all men had confessed that on that date they had been on Eurasian soil. They had flown from a secret airfield in Canada to a rendezvous somewhere in Siberia, and had conferred with members of the Eurasian General Staff, to whom they had betrayed important military secrets. The date had struck in Winston's memory, because it chanced to be a midsummer day, but the whole story must be on record in countless other places as well. There was only one possible conclusion. The confessions were lies. Of course, this was not in itself a discovery. Even at that time, Winston had not imagined that the people who were wiped out in the purges had actually committed the crimes they were accused of. But this was concrete evidence. It was a fragment of the abolished past, like a fossil bone which turns up in the wrong stratum and destroys a geological theory. It was enough to blow the party to atoms, if in some way it could have been published to the worlds, and its significance made known. He had gone straight on working. As soon as he saw what the photograph was, and what it meant, he had covered it up with another sheet of paper. Luckily, when he had unrolled it, it had been upside down from the point of view of the telescreen. He took his scribbling pad on his knee and pushed back his chair so as to get as far away from the telescreen as possible. To keep your face expressionless was not difficult, and even your breathing could be controlled, with an effort. But you could not control the beating of your heart, and the telescreen was quite delicate enough to pick it up. He let what he judged to be 10 minutes go by, tormented all the while by the fear that some accident, a sudden draft blowing across his desk, for instance, would betray him. Then, without uncovering it again, he dropped the photograph into the memory hole, along with some other waste papers. Within another minute, perhaps, it would have crumbled into ashes. That was 11 years ago. Today, probably, he would have kept that photograph. It was curious that the fact of having held it in his fingers seemed to him to make a difference even now, when the photograph itself, as well as the event it recorded, was only memory. Was the party's hold upon the past less strong, he wondered, because a piece of evidence which existed no longer had once existed? But today, supposing it could be somehow resurrected from its ashes, the photograph might not even be evidence. Already, at the time where he had made his discovery, Oceania was no longer at war with Eurasia, and had been to the agents of East Asia that the 3 dead men had betrayed their country. Since then, there had been other charges. 2, 3, he could not remember how many. Very likely the confessions had been rewritten and rewritten until the original facts and dates no longer had the smallest significance. The past not only changed, but changed continuously. What most afflicted him with a sense of nightmare was that he had never clearly understood why the huge imposture was undertaken. The immediate advantages of falsifying the past were obvious, but the ultimate motive was mysterious. He took up his pen again and wrote, "I understand how. I do not understand why." He wondered, as he had many times wondered before, whether he himself was a lunatic. Perhaps a lunatic was simply a minority of one. At one time it had been a sign of madness to believe that the earth goes round the sun. Today, to believe that the past is unalterable. He might be alone in holding that belief, and if alone, then a lunatic. But the thought of being a lunatic did not greatly trouble him. The horror was that he might also be wrong. He picked up the children's history book and looked at the portrait of Big Brother which formed its frontispiece. The hypnotic eyes gazed into his own. It was as though some huge force were pressing down upon you, something that penetrated inside your skull, battering against your brain, frightening you out of your beliefs, persuading you almost to deny the evidence of your senses. In the end, the party would announce that 2 and 2 made 5, and you would have to believe it. It was inevitable that they should make their claim sooner than later. The logic of their position demanded it. Not merely the validity of experience, but the very existence of external reality was tactically denied by their philosophy. The heresy of heresies was common sense. And what was terrifying was not that they would kill you for thinking otherwise, but that they might be right. For after all, how do we know that 2 and 2 make 4, or that the force of gravity works, or that the past is unchangeable? If both the past and the external world exist only in the mind, and if the mind itself is controllable, what then? But no, his courage seemed suddenly to stiffen of its own accord. The face of O'Brien, not caught up by any obvious association, had floated into his mind. He knew, with more certainty than before, that O'Brien was on his side. He was writing for the diary, for O'Brien, to O'Brien. It was like an indeterminable letter which no one would ever read, but which was addressed to a particular person and took its colour from that fact. The party told you to reject the evidence of your eyes and ears. It was their final, most essential command. His heart sank as he thought of the enormous party arrayed against him, the ease with which any party intellectual would overthrow him in debate, the subtle arguments which he would not be able to understand, much less answer. And yet he was in the right. They were wrong, and he was right. The obvious, the silly, and the true had got to be defended. Truisms are true. Hold on to that. The solid world exists. Its laws do not change. Stones are hard, water is wet, objects unsupported fall towards the earth's centre. With the feeling that he was speaking to O'Brien, and also that he was setting forth an important axiom, he wrote, "Freedom is the freedom to say that 2 + 2 makes 4. If that is granted, all else follows." What is wrong with bearness protagonist? Wait, what? Oh, bear, as in a creature bear. Also, what do you mean the proles seem viewer coded? Proles in this case are just normal, the normal people. Although I would be curious. Obviously, I think George Orwell is not alive anymore. I would be curious to know, or maybe there might be another chapter that explains something like that. I'd love to see the world from the perspective of the working class in this world. One of the most impactful chapters for the yeah. I mean, interestingly, like I normally feel like a lot of the chapters, they kind of focus on like one topic, and then they focus on that. But that started with like the power of the common person, and then went back into the erasure of the past, which they explained before when he was at his job. Have you watched Soylent Green? I imagine it's like that. I haven't actually watched Soylent Green. I know what it is. I know what the like general concept of Soylent Green is. But yeah, this is definitely an interesting book that probably, I feel like, has anyone watched the movie? Like, does the movie like properly kind of capture the same messages that this book has? But I can definitely see why this is required reading in school for a lot of people. Although I feel like when you're 16, a lot of this kind of this would have gone over my head. This would have totally gone over my head back when I was like 15. Hello, psychedelic murder chicken. But it's just this is definitely I kind of regret not reading this before though, because like there's number one, it's an absolutely fascinating and terrifying concept of a book. But also, George Orwell's writing itself is the actual way that everything is described, and the way that like the general mood is captured is just actually generally very impressive. Like, I keep stumbling over my words while I read because I'm illiterate, but the pacing is impressive. The way that, yeah, my perspective on Winston has changed a lot since I read this in high school. He's definitely I mean, I don't know how I would have seen him in high school or secondary school. He's... Teenagers should get books interesting to them. Putting people off with boring shit books is terrible. Yeah. I never enjoyed reading Shakespeare in school. I think my favourite book that I read when I was in school for academic stuff was a book called The Woman in Black, which was a horror book. He's an incel, to be honest. I mean, technically, being a Volcel is part of the declaration of the party. Shakespeare good though? I can believe that Shakespeare's work is good, but I think it's more for an adult audience to understand. I think Shakespeare's works can be reimagined in a way that is appealing to a younger audience, a teenage audience. But I feel like at face value a lot of his stuff just doesn't really capture younger people. Of course, it depends on a individual level. Not everyone is into the same things, and some people are never going to be into some types of literature. Oh yeah, teenagers can definitely no, I'm not denying that. I was reading at a adult level when I was a teenager, but it's also a matter of the perspective and like what you've seen in the world, I think. Maybe the shows are interesting, I'll try one day. I remember when we did Romeo and Juliet in school, I remember that the people in my class really enjoyed, there was like a modern movie version of it. And that really captured my class. A good book is interesting to people of all ages for different reasons. The Leo DiCaprio one? I don't think so. There's a few different ones. Romeo and Juliet movies. There's a lot of them, so give me a second. No. No. Is it that one? I don't know if it's that one. Modern. I don't know. I don't know which one was the one that we watched. But it had cars in. They were like, it's one of the scenes. It took part in it took place in like a gas station. That's the Leo one. Oh, is it? Yeah, my class really liked that one. There was another one we watched though, where the actor looked like Zac Efron, but like it was from like the 60s or something. At 16, my favourite book was Programming the Z80. When I know when I was 10, my favourite book was Mortal Engines. I know I got into, when I was 14, I started reading The Knife of Never Letting Go, which is a really good book, and the ones that followed it. Although I don't think I ever followed the, I don't think I ever read the third book in that series. Honestly, I wish I had. I wish I remembered a lot of the books that I used to read. I used to have a whole bookshelf full of books, but then when I was 16, 16 turning 17, that's when my memory just completely failed me, and my attention span completely failed me, and I stopped reading. Stopped reading for years. If schools had Terry Pratchett on the curriculum, I think my... Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've ever actually read a book by Terry Pratchett, so I can't actually comment on that. I feel like some of Neil Gaiman's stuff might have been good. I actually for Christmas, my mum bought me. Hold on, let me grab it. It's behind me. Yeah. My mum bought me a book of short stories by Neil Gaiman. Neil Gaiman, short fictions and disturbances. Trigger warning. As in the book is called Trigger Warning. When I finish 1984, I'm gonna read some of the stuff from this. But there's just a whole bunch of short stories in here. Does it have the interview with Cthulhu on? Do you know the title of it? Because I'm looking at the contents page and there's nothing that specifically says Cthulhu, but I don't know. I don't know what the title of that one is. But yeah. No. I was saying. 1984 is definitely a fascinating book, but I think it is more impactful to me as an adult than it would have been to me if I had read it at 16. I don't think I would have had, like, I wouldn't have known how to really feel about Winston either when I was younger. Like, I feel like while I'm reading it, I feel a bit of resentment towards him now. Like, I understand his position and why he acts the way that he does, but I still I resent some of his choices and definitely his perspective on some things. You should. I'm not. I'm gonna say no. No, I'm probably not gonna do that. Really, that was quite a long chapter. God, I wish I didn't keep on messing up my words as I read this, though. I'm pretty sure when I make the full version of this, I'm gonna have to re-record like so many pieces. Oh crap! We've only got one more chapter to go before we reach the part 2. Wow, we're actually making progress in this book, which is surprising, knowing me. I still can't get over the person who plays in frequencies because it's I'm calling them. Is that the Black Souls? I don't really. I've heard of it, but I actually don't know anything about that game at all, other than that it's fucked up. I've never seen it. And how much I didn't realize how fucked up his perspective was as a kid, and how much. Yeah, exactly, right. That's right. I really want to go through after I finish reading this. I don't have a highlighter. I need to buy a highlighter, and I want to highlight the things that we have pure evidence that isn't from his own thoughts, that isn't from the words that he says, but he actively witnesses in real time. Because I feel like it's not a lot. I feel like we know very little about what is the truth of going on in this book. Anyway, I think I think numbers is mostly say so. Despite that, I don't feel like numbers brings up that game particularly often. There was a scary ghost. Sorry, I think that's the music. There is not a ghost. There is not a ghost in my room. I think it all depends on the way that you define say so. Said DJ in chat that brings it up for sure. I mean, yeah, her chat is definitely interesting. Salty spider ghosts? No. Spiders. The ghost of spiders would not be able to make that kind of sound. No. Fun fact, actually, so I'm pretty sure the house I live in now is not haunted. But apparently, the house that I used to live in, like from the age of about 10 until like a few years ago, apparently that was haunted. But I never experienced anything. But my parents were like, oh yeah, there used to be some things that were weird about that house, and I'm just like, really? Pure and say so Puri was the ghost. It's true. It's me. I'm the ghost. No, it's my hold on. No, it's my theory of my hidden sibling that I thought was hidden under the bathroom floor. Yeah, that's the ghost. I haven't actually had chance since I spent all of yesterday sleeping. I haven't had chance to actually talk to her about that episode of Red Dwarf. So I have no answer yet, but I will potentially, if I remember, probably talk to her tomorrow. There's an episode of Red Dwarf called Parallel Universe where they come across their gender bent versions of themselves. That's a summary. But yeah, say so is an interesting word for VTubers to use, because I like kind of count myself as say so, but also I think I might be a bit too much of a fan of blood and gore things to actually be say so. But the thing is that most people count say so stuff as like, do they talk about arrow stuff? And I don't. The main character literally. But what eyes go dark? Wait, have you guys heard about apparently people on TikTok are claiming that people with narcissistic personality disorder, when their narcissism kicks in, their eyes go completely black. Like, wow, I had no idea that a personality disorder could turn you into isn't it like what the demons do in Supernatural or something? Wild. I hate TikTok so much. Me too. I've still never downloaded it. I've still never had a TikTok, and honestly, I think I really made the right choice there. It's crazy. So yeah, that's how to spot a narcissist. Their eyes will literally just turn black. It's like, yes, what a normal thing to have happen to kids being dumb and stuff. I mean, there's being a bit dumb and a bit silly, and then there's whatever the hell that's supposed to be. Also, that means that some edgy kid is gonna be like, wait, I wanna have like cool like black eyes. I'm gonna become a narcissist. Especially since I know that like when I was younger, people did like to sometimes pretend that they had like mental disorders that they didn't have. I went to college with one actually, that if he was, if he met someone who had some kind of mental illness, he would immediately pretend that he also had that mental illness, even if, like, he had never even heard of it before. We posted funny creepypastas hasn't watched Naruto. Monero maxing. I can no, not that kind of black eye. Bro is just a collector. God, it was so stupid. Literally, I remember one day he just started pretending that he had was it dissociative identity disorder, and had all these other like selves that would just like overpower him. Like, it was like, okay, dude, I've known you for like 8 months now. I feel like this would have maybe come up a little sooner. Also, I feel like it isn't something that you would just brag about at college. That's another thing. But whatever. Let's make dark autism. Oh, you've got normal autism? Yeah. I've got evil autism. It's like, it means I'm twice as autistic. Is Shadowband the previous comment? Well, it just let's make dog autism true and didn't let the I didn't even need context. I'm just like, dark autism, let's fucking go. What was right, what did you... Can you post it into my Twitch chat so I can see what the context was? Although I don't need context, because honestly I think the concept of dark autism is hilarious, actually. Autism, but I'm evil. As I talked about generating misinformation. Ah, I see. Does Let's go, let's have a stream. So for anyone just in the YouTube stream, the message was, we should invent a mental illness and spread it on TikTok to give them something fun to play with for a while. Let's go, stream where we invent a mental illness. No, that would get me cancelled, actually, probably. I'm not gonna do that. Still. God, TikTok is such an interesting place. Terrifying to me. I do worry about... Well, to be fair, there have always been people spreading misinformation about mental illness and stuff. Like, it used to be very common on Tumblr as well. There will always be people. Full stop. That's it. There will always be people. Not specifically doing anything, but just people. Used to be. I mean, I feel like it's less than it used to be, because I feel like the general population of Tumblr is now older. There's just moronic teenagers confusing themselves. Maybe? I don't know. At least it's talked about nowadays, yeah. I worry about the people that use it for attention, even though most people don't, and the few that do could be really harmful. Yeah. The audience is just older, so they know how to temper their lies to make them more believable. Are you saying that narcissists having their entire eyes turning black is not believable? It's not an entire platform controlled by a totalitarian state that actively pushes for misinformation. Whoa, it's literally in like 1985. I'm disconnected from reality now. I don't know what's going on. Twitter, I read Twitter, I go, huh, that's weird. Anyway, I read Tumblr, I go, huh, that's weird. Anyway. I don't exist in the real world anymore. This stream was literally 1984. You don't even get cool misinformation. I don't know what cool misinformation would count as. I nominate space to make the new I would trust space with making a new mental illness for the kids to pretend to have. But yeah, no, I don't exist in the real world anymore. I like intentionally dissociate myself from reality now. Nothing is real, actually. It's actually interesting reading this and seeing Winston talk about the characters, like his ex-wife, who, well, I guess current wife, who they've just like accepted everything. Yeah. Something ignorance is bliss. Something I just don't know how to balance it, so I lean into the just ignoring the real world because I can't deal with it. Remain awake. For me, it's difficult for me to realize it to everyone else. Winston looks like he accepts everything too. That's true. They all have to act their part as well, since they're constantly under surveillance. Really makes you think, this book. Scary realization that everyone could be thinking similar things to Winston. I think it's interesting that he also passes on his, oh, it's not my responsibility to do anything about it. If we really wanted to change things, the only way that could happen is for the pros, the working class, to do it. It's not my responsibility. Why don't the working class just suddenly rebel? Why don't they do something? It's like that Metro, I'm the only intelligent one here. Well, that's partly what the end of that chapter was about, right? The fact that is he the only one who's thinking these things? Is he insane? Which he's not. Well, he might be, but he's probably not the only one thinking those things. I'd like to get to talk to that one character. You know, a few chapters ago there was the one who works in the Newspeak dictionary. The one who was talking about how they're literally like erasing the language. But also how I'm pretty sure it mentions something to do with the fact that like he questions things too much, and so Winston thinks he's going to get disappeared. I would like to hear from him again before he gets disappeared, please. I would like to see this book from anyone else's perspective as well. But I need to just keep reading. We're nowhere near. We're not even halfway through the book yet. Reality, hey? Don't we love it? And by don't we love it, I mean it's terrifying. I don't know what's going on. I'm scared. I'm concerned. That's it. Isn't it great that we don't live in 1984? From the power of the book comes from the fact that just like Winston, you don't have an external perspective besides what the party gives you. Ah! Paying taxes is kind of like living in 1984. I don't know. He hasn't mentioned. He works a normal job. He lives in London. That means they probably do his taxes for him. Like the party, like they handle everything. No one who works in the government here and doesn't have a second job has to do their own taxes. Just don't be scared. I am scared all the time. Reality is scary. Anyway, I should probably finish off for the night. Even though I'm not sleeping for a while, because obviously I just woke up. Maybe... Depending on how awake I am, I've got some stuff I want to do while I'm awake. But if I'm still awake and like alert by the morning, like my late morning, I might think about setting up something to play in the Discord, as in like an anime. Will it be the Gundam? I don't know. I'm too tired to think about that actually. I'll worry about it if I don't get distracted. Because actually I need to please no Gundam. What do you mean? What do you... I've been seeing so many people talking about Gundam recently. I really want to watch War in the Pocket, so I at least have like a little bit of perspective. Please lesbian Gundam. Which... I'm on my positivity. Yeah, I don't believe that. I was there watching you talk in Numbers chat. No. Incorrect. Anyway, I wanted Pluvium, I thought you weren't even planning on coming because I'm planning on watching them through a streaming website, and that's not good enough quality for you. It's not Kino enough. You know who's the most positive person? Gravity Wolf. I can believe it. It's fine to watch it in bed. See, what's positive? That's not a positive sentence. But also, fake positivity is bad. Oh wait, oh damn. I just realised I didn't do the thing I wanted to... Mad. Okay, I'm fine. I was gonna go through the VOD of the day that I asked for all the anime recommendations, and I was gonna add notes to my anime list to remember who requested each anime. But I didn't, and now the VOD's gone. Foolish. Foolish. No, I'm not making a spreadsheet. I was just planning on keeping track of who asked for what anime, like who suggested each anime, especially if I end up watching something I really hate, so I can go, what the hell was that about? And I don't accuse the wrong person. But yeah, now I've got... I want to finish... I was gonna work more on the orange colour wheel thing if I streamed yesterday. I need to work on that still. I've only got like less than 7 days before the end of January. I need to finish Orange before January. No, I mean before February. God. Well, maybe I should just go back to sleep. Sleep for 500 years. What? Anyway, I need to stop being distracted. I need to do things. I need to be a productive cat since I didn't do anything productive during the day. I need to be a powerful cat. Get shit done. I have stuff I want to do. I have plans for this year, and so far I haven't set anything really in motion yet. Go to town, get your nails done? Why would I get my nails done? Why do I? My nails are fine. Also, town's not open yet. No. I want to work on art, I want to work on stream stuff, and pampering? Do it? Pampering costs money. Going to town costs money. Getting my nails done costs money. Eating while I'm in town costs money. Not doing that. I need to save. I wanna make sure. I have a couple of covers I want to do this year, and I need to make sure that I have the money to produce them. No time to get nails done. I have some press-on fake, like little plasticky nails that I bought from Primark for like £1. I can put them on and pretend that I've had my nails done, and then immediately get annoyed with them and peel them off because I don't like things on my nails. Keep on trying to think I need to like find someone to raid, but this is YouTube, so I don't. They haven't given me the right to redirect. What do you mean? The stream's current bitrate is lower than the recommended bitrate. Do I look crunchy to you guys? We recommend that you use a stream bitrate of 6,800 kbps. What if I didn't? Beginning of stream, let's go. Para? No. Looks fine to me, look fine. Go just get them sanded. So I don't like okay, the sensation of like having my nails filed is it makes my spine crawl. My nails are very my nails are very soft. So like I can feel through them. Like if I use a file, literally like it's like electrocuting my entire arm. More grilled to me? Okay. I always hated the sound of sanding. Some sanding is fine, but filing nails is like, it's like nails on a chalkboard to me. Same difference actually. Crunchy breaded panko puree though? You telling me a cat fried this rice? Actually, that's not panko. Somehow I made the jump from panko breaded shrimp to shrimp fried rice. I think I'm tired. I should probably end stream and like maybe like recontemplate my place on the earth and then get stuff done while I have any sort of sanity. Ugh. That's a lie, I never have any sanity. So, you should start drinking. Funny you should say that. Why are you emo? So why not? Why not, huh? What's wrong with emos? Do a drinking stream and then go to Denny's? Let's drive all the way to Wales! No! But yeah, no. Fun fact. You got I didn't know. I've been staring at my neck. Don't stop looking at it. So, fun fact, for Christmas, my mother got a gift. I think from like her boss at work or something. They gave her tequila. My mum does not like tequila. I can drink tequila. If anything, actually, like when I used to like occasionally go out, like if someone was like shots, I'd be like, yeah, I know I can drink tequila. I don't really know about anything else. So I do actually have 2 tiny little bottles of tequila now just on my desk. So if I felt like doing a drinking stream, I can do that again now. Jose Cuervo is the world's #1 tequila. I probably mispronounced that. People who can speak Spanish, please don't at me. 38% volume alcohol and 40% volume. I miss American Purity. That's good at Dark Souls and I've so much she peeks the mic. I mean, yeah, if I did a drinking stream, it would probably almost definitely be Dark Souls again. I don't know what the games be even interesting to like try and drink while playing. I go by color of labels on tequila. One's silver and one's yellow. Hold on, it says on the back, it says 1 times Jose Cuervo Especial Tequila Reposado, and then 1 Jose Cuervo Especial Silver Tequila. I don't know what these mean. Overwatch is better drunk. Ah, that requires downloading Overwatch though. It's too softy and less time. Next time you're drunk, I'm gonna make you say embarrassing yab things. Oh, you're going to say embarrassing yab things to get a rise out of me? But I'm gonna be drunk, so I'm gonna be like, Lamau. Why do you think you can get a rise out of me? Even when I'm like mad, I'm just being mad for like comical effect most of the time. I can't actually think of a time I've gotten like legitimately like angry on stream. Sorry, I'm messing with the box of tequila. I need to realize that you guys can like hear everything because of this mic. I need to stop doing that. Play Fortnite. No. I gave up on making you mad a while ago. I mean, good, cause I just don't really. Got mad that I punched a baby. Like you got so mad that you punched a baby, or you punched a baby, and then you got mad at yourself for punching a baby. Let's have a look at my list of games. It's always getting over it. I'm already very calm. Punched a baby and then you got mad at the baby? What the hell, dude? Sea of Thieves now. Of course, Sea of Thieves has its safer seas, so I could do that drunk technically. Will you marry me? Sorry. I don't believe in marriage. I don't know, what else is there? So I got Dark Souls, but I only have Dark Souls 2. I don't have the first Dark Souls. I want to try the first Dark Souls. I've kind of tried it once before because I had it on PlayStation. What does Numbers have that I? You know, I'm not married to Numbers either, right? We're sisters now because we share a 3D modeler. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else. I don't know what people play as, like, drunk games. There is no Dark Souls 2, they just released 3 after the original. Unfortunately, I've played Dark Souls 2 like 2 times on stream now, so... Unless you're erasing the past. We just read a book about how you shouldn't do that, though. Will you accept a pact and a buzz saying that I must come to your aid in graves out of need, like Rohan answering the gondol's plead for help? I don't think there will be any circumstances where I would have a gravest hour of need where I would need to summon you. Play Baldur's Gate and be evil. Okay, so the problem is there's some games that I actually technically have a way to get access to, such as Elden Ring and Baldur's Gate, but they're actually, I don't own them. I have to borrow them out of other people's libraries. Like, when I played Baldur's Gate, it's because Havoc has it. So if Havoc ever tries to play something while I'm playing Baldur's Gate, Steam is like, you're gonna be kicked out in 5 minutes! Save what you're doing and go! And I'm like, oh, okay. Play some horror game? I already played Barrow Trauma, is that not enough for you? There's this one guy I know, he can give you an gift. I don't know where to get... Okay, so I'm pretty sure I can't access that specific website. Like, I don't know how to get around my ISP, like, specifically banning that website. And I don't know what the alternatives are because I'm old and stupid and I stopped sailing many years ago. Is this a honeypot? Are you linking me to a honeypot? It didn't get filtered, I can see it. I'm just not reading it out loud. Holy crap! Whoa! Video games! Do I have to torrent these or are these just downloads? Who's doing a flush emoji? It's your preferred site? Okay, so hopefully not a honeypot. Okay, let me just favorite this. Because the site I used to use literally hasn't updated in like a decade. You have... I mean, no, but I can find it, I guess. Remember, I literally haven't sailed for like 10 years. I stopped. Not because I have something against, like, I don't have anything against it. And I just like stopped pirating like a long time ago. So now I don't know like the modern ways to do it. Jade, okay. I will look into these things. You pirate food? You wouldn't steal a pizza. I would steal pizza. Okay, there we go. Saved. But yeah, sorry. It's actually weird because yeah, I haven't emulated anything for years and years and years. Like I'm talking 15 years, and then I haven't pirated anything for, well, games. I haven't pirated games for a very long time. Hello, Sideswipe. That just automates the link so you don't have to click through 100 pop-ups. I see. That makes sense. It's Nitya. Ah, hello, Nitya. Sorry, I'm bad at remembering what people's names are across platforms. I need a way to give everyone nicknames. But yeah, good morning. But yeah, okay. Video games. In which case, I'll look into stuff. I'll see. Shut up, Para. I don't know. Could use our real names? No. 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 I don't want to know your real names. Don't tell me your real names. It's scary. I always worry when I stream on YouTube because I know that like some people have their names as their YouTube names. And I'm like, ah. You already know. Well, maybe, but I don't call you it, do I? What would you do if you came into stream and I was just like, hi, real name here? That'd be so fucked up. That would be messed up. I just accidentally name doxed to a VTuber I was already face doxed to. Oh! Oof. Well, I hope it was a VTuber who will either forget immediately, like me, or will at least keep your information safe. Be parasocial. Oh my god. I already said my real name in the Discord before. I mean, I forget intentionally. Obviously, if someone keeps on making it, so I see their name, I'm going to remember. But I do intentionally try to forget people's names and any other like details they reveal. The most I try to remember, I think, is sometimes like states. Because that is like time zone information. And so where someone comes in and they're like, oh, I'm awake, and I can be like, motherfucker, it is 5 AM, go to bed. Looking at you, fellow Europeans. You ever call me by my real name randomly, my brain will shut down, I'll be permanently be bonded to you. Okay, well, I want you to live a life of your own choice independently, with being able to decide what you do. So I'm not going to do that. They're publishing Hug's personal data as we speak. No, Maury, I don't know Maury very well, but they seem like a nice person, so hopefully your details are safe with them. But yeah, I try and forget, and I feel like if anyone ever somehow finds out stuff about me, like because Coffee decided to dox me, I hope he would do me the same favor and forget. You saw the emotes on Twitch? Oh, the fact that we're getting more emotes? I literally just got new emotes, and I'm just waiting for the animated ones to get animated. I don't want to have to. Am I gonna have to? I'm running out of ideas of things to get for emotes. Like I don't even know what else to commission, and also that costs money. I don't want to buy more emotes quite yet. Like Twitch, thank you for all these emotes, but also I'm drowning in emotes. Aren't you streaming less than ever, Pierre? I'm streaming at least 2 times a week. At a minimum. Which is not good. But I'm... Man! Yes, I am streaming less than ever. It is not. I do not want to be streaming less than ever. You've been doing good in the new. I'm trying. I didn't mean no, you're not rude. It's just you. I think you accidentally burnt. You accidentally. What's the word? Like burn, sick. You accidentally inflicted a sick burn upon me What about woman? Woman saying that doesn't flow as well. Also, it's not the same. It's not the same vibe. Sorry, women. No, sorry that I don't stream as much as I used to anymore. It's not my choice. I'm just, it's fine, it's you, don't worry. It's just, a bit of a sore subject for me at the moment, that's all. Trust me, I want to stream like I used to. I wish I could go back to streaming 5 days a week again. And hopefully, my goal is to get back to that again. But, it's just difficult at the moment, you know. But hopefully I can get back into it properly. Don't wanna be I'm not stinky. What the? How dare you? But yes, please go take a shower. And I should probably end stream, to be honest. So I was like 40 minutes ago. Wow, I should end stream, and then I've just been talking. Let's go. Situations exist. Oh God, I wish they didn't. I wish situations didn't exist. Purity no. Alright, we gotta get out of here before this becomes degenerate. Next stream, I'm gonna try stream on Sunday. So that'll be the second stream of the week. I wanted to stream yesterday. The other problem I get is I don't know what to stream. I want my crafting desk. Guys. And my dad's been so busy, like, renovating his kitchen that he hasn't built it yet. I'm so sure. I feel like receiving that crafting desk is gonna fill me with determination and power. I'm gonna become so strong when I get my crafting desk. Once I get a job, I'm gonna huh? Interesting. Thanks for reading to us. Thank you for coming by. I'm glad people like the reading streams. You increased the difficulty curves for consistency a lot when you shifted away from video games. I did. It's kind of my own fault. But also, I wanna do... I've never really felt like video games is really like the stuff I'm best at. I feel like I'm more suited to like creativity stuff. I don't know. I still want to play games like sometimes, but no. I want my crafting desk. As soon as I get my crafting desk, I'm going to become so powerful. I'm going to become so strong. I'm going to 24/7. No, not quite. I'm not going to 24/7 stream. That would be crazy. Just do what you want to do. Yeah. And I'm gonna do my best. Yeah. I'm gonna get back into it though. Just chatting streams would be 100% fine. I feel like I have to... Sometimes I have to make sure that I have like enough to talk about though for just chatting streams. But yeah, I'll do my best. And as soon as I get my crafting desk, that's when my Twitter name is gonna change from being Chrysalist to Beautiful Butterfly. Don't pressure yourself to be creative, but also don't pressure yourself to do stuff for other people. The thing is, like, I have so much stuff like I want to do with the crafting desk. Like, I need to, you know, I've still got that plushie like patchwork plushie cat. Although I think I'm missing pieces of the pattern now because it's been so long. And I want to build more like little dioramas like that one I did before. And also I have my garage kit figure of Coco and all the little mini figurine thing like environment stuff. I've got all my pro markers and my notebook that I started drawing in and just It's fine. Things will come together. Things will come together, and I shall rise up from the ashes, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. And I'm gonna be very powerful. But thank you for supporting me in the meantime. Anyway, I should actually end stream before I get distracted again, because it's nearly been 2 hours. Hehe. Sunday, 6 PM, that's when I'm aiming for my next stream. Yeah. We'll see what happens. Good night, onyasumi, or if it is morning for you, good morning, have a nice day. But if you're gonna get some sleep, have a very good rest of your night, and I hope you sleep well. And if you still have stuff to be doing, then what do I do with this punk sign in blood? I mean, I can take it, I guess. If you really want to come and aid me in my darkest hour, I will take the pact, I suppose. I just don't really know what to do with it. But yeah, good night, onyasumi, bye 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 bye.